Hi, my angels and devils, and all who may wander here. I'm Amanda Christina. This is Heavenly Imaginings, and yes, I know it's been quite some time since I made a video. I apologise. I haven't really felt up to it. There's been a lot going on. I haven't really been talking to a lot of people and stuff. I think hospital life can be a little overwhelming for someone who is used to living on their own and who has social anxiety. So all my energy has been spent here rather than sort of doing some of the things I would normally do. And I'm really, really sorry because I know some of you have been very, very worried about me. But I have good news. I am going to be home before Christmas, is what I have been told. I have to conquer some steps, which sounds easier than it is. It's I have to be able to do it without holding on to the rail. Now I have a decorative rail, and I usually do use that to help me. Sorry, I'm recording this at 9:30 in the morning, and you'd think I'd be more awake. I have a decorative rail, which I'm like the physios have deemed, like the OT has deemed that it's not stable enough for me to use. So they're working on funding to get me an over rail so that will be okay. But in the meantime, that is what I am working on in physio at the moment, which is a lot harder than you think because my automatic inclination is to hold on to things to help me balance. So I am working on that. Hopefully, I'll get that enough that they'll be satisfied and um, let me go home because that's the barrier. Um, yeah, so that's where I'm at. I've been doing really well. I don't have the cam boot anymore, so I'm not walking around like thunk every step, every second step. I've been doing really well otherwise. I still have the splinter in my bone. That's going to take quite some time to heal, I would say, because I'm pretty sure it's the same bone that I broke last time as well. So there's like screws holding the bones together. I saw the X-ray. Um, Thank God I didn't see the original ones because I probably would freak out seeing those. They're a lot scarier. It's a lot nicher and all contained, and you can see all the little pins and plates and stuff they put in, and the screws and stuff. Yeah, it's. I haven't even been crafting heaps. I did make these, and these are made from I think it's Sparkle collection that was a hot buy. This is only the 6x6 version, and honestly, I'm ashamed to tell you how much I paid for it half price because it was $9 for 24 sheets of paper, which is a lot for here. But I these are my two. The rest of the ones that I made in the pinwheels, I were given to people, or the staff took them, and I also made some rosette ones with jingle bells, so the jingle ones, and I also made some of those, and some of them went to patients, and some of them decorating the walls, which is really sweet. One of the other things I did do was make a wreath using a combination of Wandering Ivy from Kaisercraft and Santa Baby, and I think I used I'm pretty sure I used the Dolce and some Maggie Holmes jam bling. So, combination of a few things I know that some people love, and that's the. Let me see if I can. Because I got the Santa Baby flowers half price somewhere. So I've been picking them up cheap in different places. So this year, so I had a nice little stockpile of them, of the poinsettias. So yeah, so that's going to a friend of mine, or one of the nurses here, who brings a lot of sunshine and happiness to everyone. She's so lovely. And then the other thing I've been working on over the last couple of days is a gym bag, which is not the easiest thing. I did one covered, but it's a little favour box, and I wanted to do these for the physio team. I was lucky enough on Friday to sort of, I guess, oops, this one just fell apart here. It's not glued down very well. But I haven't. I did this one a little bit wrong. I just want to see what the papers was like. You can see that I've done it wrong, but it's going to have the little water infusers in them. So, because I got my sister to get me some more of those when they're on special. Just I thought a little thank you to the physio team because they have really worked with me. And I realised on Friday, after seeing somebody else sort of struggle and yeah, see the handle came off. But after this was me trying to play last night and just not quite getting it right. But I have those moments. It took me a while to get that design even, and it still doesn't quite sit upright, but I still like it. I still think it looks like a gym bag, so that was the important thing. Um, yeah, I realised that it would have been a lot harder had I sort of fought more. I know that the physios work really well with me and have really helped me. Like I asked to do chair yoga and they gave me things that I could do sitting in bed. They've always worked sort of like they've let me say, hey, how about this? And I've been very lucky in that. I feel like, yeah, it's helped me, but I also realized that crafting has helped me a lot. Not just in the physical sense of when you finish a crafting project, you have a win. It may only be a small win, but it's a win. It may only be something small, it may be something simple, but it boosts your confidence and it gives you the courage to tackle things that might scare you a little more. Like I didn't really want to go down to the gym. The gym scared me, but this because that's where the stairs are. But that's not, it was an unknown place for me, so it was something that was scary, and it's been really good for me. And I'm quite happy that I'm getting to sort of step out of my comfort zone a bit, and I'm really happy that I'm getting closer to going home. Um, it's been over 5 months. I apologise to anyone who was going to send mail or anyone who has had mail sent back. Um, there was something here I don't really want to talk about while I'm here. I will talk about it when I get home, but something happened and yeah. And that kind of also threw me a bit. It sort of triggered a bit of PTSD and some other things, and yes, and I've been very lucky in the social worker here is amazing, and she and my NDIS team, which is funding we now get to help with disability instead of once upon a time you'd get disability, or DSP as it's called in Australia for those who don't know, and then all these other organisations would be able to step in and help you, and they were funded. Now you get the funding and have to find the organisations and things, and I have what's called now finally after having to reapply to get one. I now have a team of support workers who are doing the work that for most people is just going to go over your head. It's legal stuff. It's knowing what wording to put to get the equipment that you need. It's a lot of little things that the average person isn't going to be able to wrap their brain around, because even the people who work for NDIS and who work in support work are having the rules changed all the time. So it's really, I feel really grateful that everyone's been so helpful here. It means that going home that I will have support with things like cleaning, organising things that I've been struggling with. Um, I'm going to have help with. I'm not sure how soon or how long that is all going to take, given that I'm going home close to Christmas, and Christmas is when things tend to shut down. But it does help. And, my house has had a clean. I'm not sure how good of a or what happened, because I'm kind of confused about all that and I won't know until I set foot in there. It feels very weird to say I have not set foot in my house for over 5 months. It feels very weird that half of my year almost has been spent in hospital. Um, that I've only been outside a handful of times, that I walk around the corridors here. I haven't been anywhere else. It is a very surreal feeling. It's a wonderful feeling to go home. No, thank you. It's a wonderful thing to be going home, but it's also going to be different. There's going to be less noise and less people, which is twofold. Like, one, it'll be nice to have that silence, and two, I'm gonna miss being around people because I've gotten used to being around people. So, um, I am thinking of maybe doing a challenge in the new year that I thought would be fun to, because I didn't get to do my mail it in challenge. I didn't get to do my birthday challenge. I didn't get to enter many challenges this year. As always, I want next year to be a year where I get more mail out. I've actually been working on something with Dolce, which yeah, so I have been doing little bits and pieces, but I don't want to show you what I've been doing because I have an idea and I want it to come together before I show everyone. And I was thinking that I might actually use these, some of this as prizes or happy mail. I'm not sure yet. But yes, you know me, I tend to do things in bulk at times. 60, 80, no, 80 shakers, yeah, in different shapes and stuff with Dolce and Prima Poetic Rose, I think it's called, and they actually work really well together. Where the Dolce is missing the blues, the Poetic Rose has them, and so they kind of work together in that way. I couldn't resist getting some Poetic Rose when Anna's had 25% off everything, as she does for her as Bryony does for Anna's like the birthday of the store every year. It's sort of been tradition since Anna's, even when it was owned by Anna, for Anna's craft cupboard. So yeah, I'm a bit nervous about going home in the sense of getting out and about again, going to my niece's for Christmas, things like that. Being able to get organised for Christmas. I have presents at home waiting to be wrapped up for people, for family and stuff, so that's helpful. Luckily, most of it sent to my sister, and she just dropped it off at my house and put it inside for me. So you know, I'm okay. I'm sort of as much on top of things as I can. I'm worried about things like restocking my fridge and freezer and pantry because I've been gone for so long. All my fridge and freezer stuff was pretty much that had to be thrown out, and for me that means starting again, and that's really expensive over here. I don't know if anyone's seen the price of groceries in Australia, but it's not cheap. And even for Christmas, for me to do a Christmas grocery shop, I usually, by the time I factor in the stuff I make for Christmas Day and stuff, I usually spend a good $200 to $300 on just a few treats and doing, yeah. So to restock my pantry and my freezer is going to take time, and it's kind of stressful. That actually has been, and I also need to get a new little washing machine. I get these little environmental ones off eBay, and they're really good. It works in my space, and they're about $150. So that's another thing I need to sort of find money for, so I can actually wash my clothes because it stays in my bathroom, and that helps. It means I have the room to do washing, and I remember because when you go to the toilet, you sort of look at the water. Oh yeah, I've got washing on. I don't forget it for ages. Sometimes I still do, but for the most part, I'm pretty good at remembering to do washing. So yeah, so things are going to be sort of different and sort of the same. It's very weird. I mean, even in here, I'm working with a new center of gravity because I've lost so much weight, which isn't something I really talk about because my channel isn't about weight loss. It's about sort of loving the skin you're in and stuff. And I'm not a congratulations for losing weight kind of person. It wasn't deliberate. It's just part of everything. Like it's proven to me that I need to eat better in terms of eating 3 meals a day and snacking and things like that because that has made a difference. Moving more, having the AF, which is something I started to talk about in the video of why I'm in hospital, is the broken ankle. But one of the side effects of that is that the arterial fibrillation, which is something I've been dealing with for over 3 years, which I've been arguing with my doctor with for ages, which is can give you dizziness. It can lead to like pains and exhaustion, heavy exhaustion. And I had been arguing with my doctor that the levels of exhaustion and stuff that I had been going through and dizziness were just not normal. And she kept putting it down to insomnia and into mental health. And the thing with that is that had she listened when I first brought this up, had she just done a couple of simple tests, I would have been able to reverse this. This would have been a condition that could be reversed. Now, because I have had it for so long, there's nothing they can do. So basically, I have the heart condition of an 80-year-old woman, and there's nothing I can do about it. I can look after myself, I can drink plenty of water, but there's nothing I can do to change that. And that's really frustrating. It's really frustrating knowing that your health professional ignored you for so long. So one of the things I want to do in the new year is also, or actually I want to do, yeah, once I get out of here, is also look for a new doctor. I think it's time. I think I need to have a doctor that's going to at least listen and address things, because it's sort of a bit ridiculous that that didn't get addressed for so long, and I sort of banged on that door as much as I could, saying this isn't right, I'm getting worse, I can't move as much, I'm struggling to do just basic things like shower or throw a few things into my slow cooker or crock pot, as you call them in America. So yeah, it'll be interesting to go op shopping or go to the post office or do everyday things again, because I haven't done that in so long. So it's going to be interesting, and it's interesting because I'll be doing that with like a rolly walkery thing, which is. Um, I remember the last time I had a walking frame thing. People looked at me very funny and very odd, because I was so young. Like I was in my 30s then. I'm mid 40s now. um, I'm very grateful that I won't be spending Christmas in hospital. I feel heartbroken for those who do, but I already spent my birthday here this year. I've already spent a good half my year here this year. Um, there's a lot of things I'm grateful for. Like I know it hasn't been the easiest journey. I realized the other day I haven't had a single box of chocolates while I've been in here. I haven't had like I miss Happy Mail. I miss being able to send Happy Mail. I miss being able to do some of the things that I just do at home. Like there are things like I'll be able to eat. Like if I want to eat a raw carrot, I can eat a raw carrot. Like you don't know what a luxury that is until you're somewhere where you can't have something. Um, I can have a variety of fruit and vegetables. Like you would think that is such a simple everyday thing, but here variety doesn't really exist beyond like every meal bar breakfast has some sort of potato with it. Um, the hot meals are mostly frozen meals, so it's really a lot of things that I have missed that yeah, that you don't think about little simple things like I haven't had salsa chicken in months. I haven't sort of really been able to just go and make my own version of a sandwich. I mean, I can make sandwiches in here when we get sandwiches, but like sometimes I'll grab some bread with the salad we have and I'll make a sandwich with that. But like lettuce, I miss lettuce so much. I love iceberg lettuce. Like crispy, crunchy lettuce is one of my favorite things. And we don't get lettuce in hospital because it's a health and safety issue. So there are so many little things that I am really looking forward to, but at the same time, I'm not going to have someone there in case. So in case I fall or in case I need help, there isn't going to be someone just a buzzer away, and that's going to take a little bit of getting used to. I'll also be back in my nice queen size bed, which will be lovely, but also weird because I won't have a bed with all the bells and whistles. It goes up and down and moves the head up and moves my legs up and goes up and down to different heights. So if I'm not feeling like getting up from a lower height that day, or if I'm struggling a bit, I'm not going to have that sort of luxury. But at the same time, I'll have the luxury and the freedom to do more for myself and to make more choices for me. So it's very much a sort of flippy tradie thing, and I think I've been feeling a little overwhelmed by the fact that there are so many things in my head that need to be sorted, and things like I apparently certain things in childhood, certain traumas trigger need to sort of make sure, like I've always made sure that my pantry and my fridge and freezer are pretty well stocked. Probably a little overstocked at times, but apparently that comes with some of the stuff I've been through as a child. My sister is the same. Um, I think apparently it comes from a lack at some point and from some certain other things. I won't get into that now. I I will mark this video for 18 plus just because I don't know that it's necessarily not kid friendly, but I would rather make sure with the new thing that's coming in that it's and you will see that with some of my videos even in the past. I have, like, when I talk about dating or size acceptance or mental illness, I mark those as 18 plus because I think that's really important. I think my mental health has been struggling. Like, my depression has been sort of there. And also I've been on a sleep sort of a sleepy antihistamine that's been sort of making me really lethargic and sleepy all day, which I know is not a good thing, but it has been helping me get sleep over night time. So it's sort of that trade off. I didn't take it last night so that I would be a bit more alert today, but I'm still feeling very sort of, oh, excuse me, yawning. I'm a bit tired and still run down, but um, things are moving slowly. But compared to where I was and starting this journey on complete and utter bed rest with not even being allowed out of bed, it's such chalk and cheese. I'm not walking with the cam boot, I'm walking in my own shoes now. I can walk around my room without the the wheelie trolley thingy. Whereas when I'm walking a bit more, I need to use that. But that is just such a huge, huge improvement. So I know I've done really well, and that's a good thing. It's all just, I think this year has been, what I would say is the word for this year is probably overwhelming. There's so much. Like, I am so grateful that people care enough to have wanted to join me sort of on this journey. I am sorry that I probably haven't included people more, but even Twitch, things that I normally love, I've just been sort of not there for, and I feel bad about that because I genuinely love the things that I've been missing. I just haven't found a way to do everything with the energy that I have. It's the spoon thing. And I read a really good thing on Twitter in the early hours of this morning that was talking about spoon theory. If you haven't heard of spoon theory, it's to do with the amount of energy you have when you have invisible illness, or when you have long term illnesses, or sort of things that sort of affect your everyday life. But instead of talking about it as spoons, the person said, imagine that you have a phone with a battery on 4%. Now you have three things to do, and each of those will take 2%. Which one do you drop? And that is literally what spoon theory is. If you Google spoon theory, if you haven't heard of it, it is very well worth reading about. I retweeted this, so if you go to at Heavenly Imagine, you'll see the retweet. It'll be the last thing I tweeted. Um, I think it's really important for everyone who, whether you have an illness or not, it's really important to read because it will help you understand what someone with everyday illness deals with, which is that we have to make choices. We have to choose A or B or C. We have to sacrifice so much in order to do some things and not others. Which is why when I was watching Alicia Wagman 510 open some of her um, entries and hearing her sort of talk about them and talk about the challenges a person faces, and you realize how much energy and love we pour into our creations, and that for some of us that's our outlet, but for others, they have to, like, even for me sometimes creating is not always something I can do easily, and sometimes it takes every ounce of spare energy I have. And when you see how grateful someone is for that, that is just such a beautiful, beautiful thing. I have been watching videos. Because I've been using the hospital Wi-Fi, I am unable to comment. So please don't think I haven't been. I've been watching so many videos when I can. I will admit to having gone down a little bit of the Christmas mushy movie thing, and starting to rewatch The Storyteller on Amazon Prime Video, which is a series I absolutely love and grew up with, which is a Jim Henson series. And if you haven't seen it, and if you have children, especially if you have children, just please, please, if you have Amazon If you have Prime Video, please do go and watch it. You will thank me. It is just a masterpiece, and it holds up today just as well as it did back when it was first made. And it is really visually stunning. um, and there are things like, I watch Riverdale, and I noticed that the Goblin King was very much based on one of these images of something that Henson Shop had created, and I was like, oh wow, I see that now. I see that sort of nod to that. And there are things you pick up on when you watch these things. But yes, I absolutely, I love the Henson stuff. I always have. I grew up with it, and it's very much stuff that I love. But the Storyteller holds a little bit of magic, and it's a really great series. It's something you can sit down and watch with the whole family, I think, because it's not little, but it's not all just great. It's folk tales, and it's really beautifully done. So yeah, I highly recommend that. What else have I been doing? I honestly haven't even been watching a lot. I've read a few little books, like just nothing heavy or anything, just some sort of romancy stuff, and yeah, that's yeah. I've mostly been sort of, excuse me, half asleep because of the Finurban. So yeah. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. I've rambled for almost half an hour. There we go. There's a catch-up video for you. Oh my god, this is going to take forever to upload. But hopefully I'll be home soon, and we can catch up when I am home, which will be wonderful. To be back in my usual seat and be able to sit there and say, hi, I'm Amanda Christina, and this is Heavenly Imaginings coming to you live from my place. Anyway, I will talk to you soon, my angels and devils. Remember, as always, you are incredible. You are amazing. And most importantly of all, and this will never ever change, you truly, truly do matter. Bye all.